Hey y'all, Kent Middlestad here with Kenny's Guide Service, here to give you another fishing report for Lake Minnetonka. Today is June 19th, 2018, and it's been a while since I've given an update, and a lot has happened out on the lake. I've been spending a lot of time up on the northern bays like Maxwell, North Arm, and Crystal. And the reason for that is there's some really good vegetation growing up in that area, a lot of coontail, and if you can find the milfoil, it can be really good as well. Water temps have kind of been all over the place. Yesterday when we were out, it was at about 76 degrees. We had a pretty big warm up over the weekend, but now it's been cold the past few days, so I'm expecting it to drop down a little more. For the most part, all the bass are done spawning. I did see a bass still on a bed last week, but by and large, they're all done at this point. You will see some sunfish up on beds. I think that kind of progresses throughout the summer, especially around the full moons. But I did see some sunnies still on beds as of yesterday. Like I said, there is a lot of good coontail and milfoil growing. There is still a lot of pondweed out there. Everything is behind in the cycle as far as vegetation goes. I guess as far as the whole lake goes, the water temps have been kind of just like stable in that low 70 range, and didn't have ice out until way late this year in early May, so everything is behind on schedule. But the bass have started moving out deep, finding them a lot in that 8 to 12 foot range, kind of out towards the breaks of the grass. So if you use your electronics to find where the vegetation ends and you see bait in those same areas, that's kind of a good place to start. They're definitely feeding on sunfish, so that's what we're looking for when we go out. Key baits have been, there's been a lot. Been doing really well on the windy days with a crankbait. Been throwing a Rapala DT10 quite a bit. Pretty much anything that kind of looks like a bluegill is going to be a good bait. That DT10 seems to be about the right depth, maybe a little deeper than I'd like it, but I like to have the option to slow down and let that bait rise up a little bit and then start it again. And the key with that bait is to get out, put your boat in like 12 to 14 feet of water, and kind of cast towards those vegetation breaks and parallel the break line, and just slowly retrieve that Rapala DT10 and make contact with the grass. And when you do feel grass on there, kind of rip it out, and that'll trigger a lot of strikes. So you'll either get bit doing that, or when you put a pause in the bait, so you'll retrieve it real slow and then just let it stop, and you'll get a good bite. Good amount of bites doing it that way as well. There has also been an inside weed line bite. So if you know of any of those sandy shorelines that come out and then there's a nice clean break where the inside of the weeds start, that's been really good as well. I think what's going on there is it's just like the outside weed line where the bass hide in the grass and then they'll come out and ambush a sunfish when it swims too close to the break. They're doing the same thing on the inside. Really good bait for up there has been the Arsenal boomstick on a light jig head. This is my own jig head that I pour. It's just a mushroom head, and then it's just got a Cinco style bait like an Arsenal boomstick on there. Basically what you want to do in that technique is kind of line up on those breaks and just make short pitches right kind of into the sand, and then sort of drag or hop your jig worm towards that nearest vegetation, and that's when you're getting the bites, is right when you pull it up right up to the first grass. And then on the sunny days and not so windy, I've been using a jig. Got a 1/2 ounce Super K jig, and then any kind of craw trailer seems to be working, or a beaver trailer seems to be working. Basically, same type of places where I'm throwing the crankbait, but it's just a little bit slower, and presentation that goes down deeper into the water column to get those bass that are kind of hiding out deeper in the weeds. So basically, just going along and flipping to any visible vegetation that I can see, try and put it right next to the weeds or right in the weed bush, and just pitching it in, letting it fall, kind of stroking it up a little bit, let it fall again, and if I don't get anything, just keep doing it until you run into them. So that's kind of been the deal the past week, and the lake's fishing really good right now. The big fish are out deep and biting, and it's been really fun. If anybody's looking for a guided trip, check out my website, kenny.com, and get in touch with me through there. Hope you guys are catching them. We'll see you again next week.